Hi there. My name is Michelle. I'm coming at you from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I've recently decided to become a reseller. Why? Because I kind of semi-retired about 2 years ago, and then I kept working because I'm working about 2 days a week, just because I needed the mental challenge. And I spent so many years putting into my career that I just felt like my time was wasted. So anyway, I'm looking at my wardrobe. I have way too many clothes. And so instead of giving it away to thrift stores or family and friends that it doesn't fit, because they're mostly bigger than me anyway, I decided to list a few things on eBay. So I did that a couple weeks ago. And then that led me to find Poshmark. Poshmark I found easier to list things on, and it's interesting because they both had different ways of shipping, different fee structures. Oh, my husband's banging something. And so then it was a lot of work to transfer to do the cross posting. So I looked into some apps that could help me with cross posting, and I discovered Nifty. So yesterday I got Nifty. You can get it free for a week, and in fact you can get, I don't know, I think it's 15 or 20% off if you click the link down below, because I got a affiliate link just to help you guys out and maybe help me out. So what it does is it keeps records for you, and it makes cross posting really easy. So that led me to explore Etsy, Mercari, and Depop. So I'm going to tell you what I found out about these different platforms, and also I'm going to tell you about what it means to be a Canadian reseller and all the challenges I'm facing right now. Okay, so Depop doesn't have any shipping policies available or suggestible from Canada, only from the United States. So I'm not really willing to do that because I have no idea what it's going to cost to ship because I'm such a newbie. So I only have one thing listed on there. It's just kind of an experiment. And then Etsy, I still can't figure out the shipping, but there is supposed to be a shipping button under your navigation page, but I can't find it yet. So I will create a shipping policy. I do have 4 ties listed on there. I have a thing for silk ties. So yeah, I've got 4 things listed there. I will try to figure it out in the next few days, how to get a listing policy happening. eBay is super user-friendly. I did have to call into the customer service yesterday because I couldn't figure out how to get a standard shipping policy, which makes it easier for my cross-posting on Nifty. So the guy on the phone did walk me through that, and now I have a standard shipping policy for small packages. And then I have one for medium packages, so I can kind of toggle back and forth between those two. So that's handy. And what I've done for eBay, I'll tell you in a minute, to do with the de minimis thing that's happening right now. Poshmark does not cross borders, so that's super handy for Canadians because I don't have to worry about exempting the United States for shipping. So that was a no-brainer, and I'm happy with Poshmark. I got, I think, 30 items loaded on there right now. And then Mercari is not available to Canadians, so that's a no-go. Okay, so I'll tell you the challenges that Canadians are facing in this business right now. First of all, Canada Post is on strike, and before they went on strike, they said that they would not ship to the United States. Right now, they were considering doing it if you got an app called Zonos, but the Zonos app itself is very expensive, and what the Zonos app does is it figures out duty for you, and you have to prepay the duty before you can ship to the United States. So Canada Post was only willing to accept packages to the States if you had the Zonos app, if you had it pre-figured out, and if you had the duty prepaid. So that makes me uncomfortable, of course, because I don't know how much the duty and the tariffs are going to come to, because it all depends where the item was made. Origin of item. Okay, so that brings me to the de minimis. The de minimis used to be a rule where you could ship things from Canada to the States. It was a mutual agreement. And if you shipped something less than $800 in value, you didn't have to pay duty or tariff. So that was super helpful for cross-border North American trade. It's recently been canceled. So now duties and tariffs are due when you ship a parcel from Canada to the United States. So what most Canadian sellers are doing, or small businesses, is refusing to ship to the States. It's kind of unfortunate because, of course, we share a continent with United States partners, and also they're the biggest consumers and the biggest population as far as buying consumer goods. So that's too bad, because that's really affected a lot of resellers' businesses and small businesses in general. So trying to figure out how to block and not allow Americans to push buy it now on my items has been a challenge. It's taken me about a week. So I did figure it out on eBay. When you do your listing, at the very end, it says shipping, under the shipping things, under the shipping options, it says does not ship to. So you have to choose North America, and then there's about 5 little boxes underneath that. And then you can unclick on Mexico and all the other options and just have United States selected so that it does not ship to the United States. And to make it even more clear, I put on all my listings a little note at the bottom saying currently do not ship to the United States for these reasons, just so American buyers aren't wasting their time looking at my items. So that's too bad, but anyway, I've had to do that on eBay. Poshmark, like I said, doesn't cross borders. Etsy, I do believe I read in their policies that they're just not currently shipping from Canada to the States. Yeah, I read that somewhere in their policies. But like I said, I'm still figuring out my shipping policy so I can add that to my cross listing with Nifty. Now, Nifty is a pretty cool platform. It involves AI. So it helps you, so does eBay actually. eBay will help you write your description under your listing, and Nifty will help you write your listing as well for the description part, and it'll summarize all the different, it'll compile a listing based on your listings under other platforms. And then there's still some boxes to click because there's some, for example, Poshmark doesn't have weight of the item or dimensions like eBay does. So if you go from Poshmark to eBay, you have to fill in the dimensions and the weight. If you go from eBay to Poshmark, you do not. I haven't done Etsy listings yet either way because I'm still figuring that out. What else about Nifty? Nifty keeps records for you, like cost of goods and what you sell the items for, and it'll actually help you at tax time and also just to know if your business is on track. One thing I've noticed so far is it tells me if I have different prices on different sites, and I did. So I made them all the same. And also eBay tells you if you go to the Sellers Hub, which you have to actually specially request or click certain buttons to get to the Sellers Hub. Now the Sellers Hub, it's really great. The Sellers Hub told me that I was charging 45% more than other sellers for similar items. So I have adjusted my prices. Because I'm a newbie, I really didn't have an idea. Let's talk about pricing your items. There's 3 different ways you can get comps I've discovered. The first way is to go on Google Lens, which is free on your phone. You just basically take a picture of the object, and then it'll say, this is a Ralph Lauren polo sweater. And then it'll give you examples of other items that are exactly the same, what they're selling for, what they sold for new, what it's selling for on different platforms. So that's super handy. Google Lens is the first thing to try. Second thing is eBay has a little square in the search bar, and you can take a picture with that and it'll bring you to listings that are similar as well. Sometimes it doesn't quite get it, so you have to like type in the name of the object, and then it will bring up similar listings. So that's a good way to get comps. And then of course with eBay, really you should count how many are in that bar. Say there's 100 items for sale. That's the Ralph Lauren polo sweater. It's cream colored. Then you would go to the sold button on the left. You have to open some extra check boxes by like other options at the bottom on the left hand side, and then check sold and completed comps, and then it'll give you another number. So if there's 100 for sale and 50 of them are sold, and it'll show you the ones that sold and approximately exactly what they sold for, which will give you an idea what yours is worth for selling, not listing. So 50 out of 100 sold, and that's 50% sell-through rate. So that means that yours should take, it's out of 90 days. So yours should take about a month and a half if it's a similar price. So that gives you some idea. Anyway, so Google Lens, the eBay Lens, and then the third thing I've discovered is Thrift AI. It only cost, I think it was $55 Canadian for a year. And you can take a picture of your object with a Thrift AI app. And then you can take another picture of the tag. It's not 100%. I think they're still developing the app, but it is super helpful because it'll give me a description that I sometimes use in my listings of exactly what it is. It'll kind of describe the theme, maybe what era it came from. Like if it was a vintage piece, maybe it'll say 90s polka dot blouse made by so-and-so in Italy. It'll give you descriptions like that, which really helps me in writing my descriptions under my things for sale. So I hope some of that was helpful to you. I'll keep you posted on my journey. I did have to buy a few things to get myself off the ground. I bought some large Ziploc bags, like so. So once I have taken pictures and weighed my items, I'll put a little tag on there saying what it is, and then I'll put them in certain boxes with SKUs. I made my own SKUs, so then I'll be able to find the items when the time comes, when they sell. If they sell, I've sold nothing yet, but anyway. And I sew things, so I got out my seamstress dummy to hang things on. I was taking pictures on hangers, and I was also taking some flat lays. So far, nothing's selling. So now I've gotten out my seamstress dummy. I don't know what else to call it. I think you call it a dress form? Yeah, I think it's called a dress form. So I'll show you behind me. Hopefully that'll help. I don't really feel like modeling all the items. I know you can model your clothing with an AI. You can do it through some of the AI apps. You can just come up with a fake model and it'll do it all for you. ChatGPT apparently does it. It's a new feature. Or you can get specific apps that will model your piece of clothing for you and make it look really professional. But I haven't done that yet. But I'll show you what I have. There it is. There is my dress form. And I bought this off of Amazon. It's just to weigh items to see what they weigh so that I'll know what the shipping cost is. What else do I need? I just got free boxes from work, and I did get some mailers. I'll show you my mailer. Oops. Oh. Sorry about that, boss. I've got a fabric shaver, which might come in handy. I've got mailers like this. I think they're 13 by 10, something like that. And then I also got this little handy little gun. Oh, there's a receipt in there. To adhesive my boxes, keep them closed for shipping. So I'm ready. If anybody ever buys anything, I am ready to go. Okay, thanks friends. See you again. And happy reselling for the rest of you. Wish you all the best of luck.